Welcome to the Patent Beast podcast. I'm Ania Alexakos, co-founder of YouLabs.ai. Joining me today are Bob Fish, founding partner of Fish IP Law and Patent Beast AI, and Curtis Hutten, founder and CEO of YouLabs.ai. Curtis is an inventor with more than 25 patents and patent applications, and an entrepreneur whose companies, including Viva Vision and Soapbox Mobile, have been successfully acquired. Let's jump into today's discussion because this is an important one. Today, an entrepreneur can spend years building a product only to watch someone use AI tools to clone, scrape the content, and launch a competing version in a matter of weeks. Curtis, you've spent your career building companies, protecting innovation, and helping shape emerging technologies. As AI continues to evolve so quickly, what's your perspective on what founders are facing today?
Sure. Well, what we were talking about, and it's really important right now in this day of time of AI and all these terrific companies and entrepreneurs busy building things and building their company, building products and technology. They're 24/7 and they're doing amazing jobs. One of the things they fail to understand is they need to protect this. And this is where Bob comes in and we'll unpack this. And so there are cases, even just in the last couple of weeks, where companies have built amazing tech, and what's happened is other companies using AI have completely copied what they do. And now the original founder who had a great idea probably spent a couple years, nights, weekends, toiling with all their effort into this. And they find another company through the use of AI has unpacked it and is competing with them out of nowhere. So the time to take care of this and come to an expert like Bob, the patent beast, is before you get into that trouble, because sometimes you can't turn back the clock and make it better. And so what I've learned is when I come up with these ideas as a serial entrepreneur and build companies over time, is I've come to Bob and I've been very proactive about this and realized it's not my lane. It's Bob's lane. He, for many, many years, he's protected exponential number of companies. And so what we found, though, is some of these companies got into a situation, again, where they built terrific product. They're building a company. They may have even just been funded, and now they're in a situation with a direct competitor because they weren't proactive and built out a protective moat, which is also very valuable if you're getting funding, because venture capital and investors want to know you've protected your idea properly. If you don't do that up front and you're not proactive, to go back and switch over and do that could be too late. And so I think it's really important to discuss this, and that's why we're here with the Patent Beast to walk through this.
Well, the key is the word proactive.
Right.
What people don't get is that once an idea gets out there in the world, you come up with an idea and then people look at that idea and they say, well, I could do this. I could embody it this way, right? So once you do that, you have no line in the sand unless you file a patent application, unless you get your trademarks on file, trademark applications. You want to keep some of it trade secret. Figuring that out, you have to do it early on because It's like a cliff. If you fall off the cliff, you're done. There's no way to climb back up on the cliff. And what people don't get is that when you come up with an idea and people come up with their variances of that idea, even if you file a patent application on your core idea, you didn't broaden it to protect what those other people are doing. And we've talked about this before, that when you file a patent application, you're not filing it to protect what you invented. The purpose of a patent application is to get claims on what you don't want other people to do. So you came up with this, but you don't want them to do these things either. And very, very often the inventor is so down in the weeds of this is my invention, this is what I came up with, that they don't understand that what they came up with is an embodiment of their idea. And the patent attorney, patent agent, is supposed to take that and figure out what is the bigger picture and protect that bigger picture. But you can't do that once the idea is out there. You've got to do it at the beginning. So you're right, it's about creating the moat around your idea and it has to be done proactively. And then my next question is to ask this to you. Why? Why don't people do this? I mean, the patent attorneys are there, we're available. You may have even done this in the past yourself, where you failed to do it. Why? Why didn't you do it?
Well, most entrepreneurs are absolutely guilty of what you're talking about. Now, why is that? I can answer it firsthand, because you're busy building, you have an idea, you know it might be able to change the world. And so then you go through a process. And it's really important to include in the process what we're talking about here, to proactively protect your idea. But the reason most people don't is they're busy being busy. They're 7 days a week creating it. They're thinking of the technology. If they're engineers, they're thinking of how to engineer it and so forth.
So it's tangential to what they're working on.
It is. And so it's a combination of things. Look, if they were in an office right next to you and knew of you, they'd come over. But that's not the case. Most entrepreneurs, you know, they could be 3 people dropping out of college, coming up with a great idea, and they're locked in an apartment or somewhere for, you know, a few weeks, just building out all these thoughts. Once they release it to the world, it may be too late. So what they should have is a strategy and a proactive stance on this to come in and protect. For example, numerous, in fact, if not the majority of companies, create a product and they don't fully research, is that product name even available? And what they do is they launch a product and they don't get a cease and desist letter right away. They get it at the point they may be valuable. The company that's going to sue you is going to wait to see if it's even worth suing you. So that happens all the time. The other thing is even the name of the companies. I've seen this many times, and these are even for VC-backed companies. They're going to get sued if they're successful, because even the name of their company is infringing on other companies. So you have to really know what you're doing in this. So again, this is why your new programs you're coming out with for entrepreneurs, you know, Bob, is really valuable to them, because most companies just aren't thinking this way. They're too busy doing what they need to do. Now, one reality check for them is at the point they go to get funding, and the investor says, "Hey, what have you done to protect this?" And you're like, "Man, it's a crazy idea. No one's doing it. It's super cool," and it might be. But I would encourage all entrepreneurs to think about the following. Right up front, check these things out. Work with a professional like Bob, so you're setting yourself up for success. Because on the investment side, when someone asks you what have you done to protect your IP and so forth, don't be naive. Don't think because you have a really cool idea, and probably most of them are, you really want to protect this and back that up. So at the funding stage, you may find this out, and it could be too late, and you could get a rejection. But if you come to a professional like Bob and have this all set up, and I know, Bob, you have programs that work for entrepreneurs that make it so it's very easy, very straightforward, it's cost effective, and in the end, you come out way ahead if you're proactive about this.
A great patent attorney doesn't simply prepare and file patent applications. They understand the invention at its core. They think like an inventor, an engineer, a business strategist, all at the same time. That is Bob's X factor.
And thanks for bringing that up, Ania, because I want to expand on that. Not all, just like anything in life, not all companies are created equal, not all people are created equal, not all athletes are created equal. And there is an X factor. And what I've learned in working with Bob over the years is we get almost all of our patents. Our success rate is right at the top, and the efficiency and the timing on getting these patents. Bob's on a special type of program and a relationship with the patent office, and with his years of wisdom, I know that you're able to get things through that many others can't.
Well, I have a good reputation, I think, with the examiners. I've had examiners call me and just say, "Bob, this is a great idea. Let's switch this around, make this little change, and we can do it." And we talked about that in another podcast. Right. How it's important to treat the examiner like a person, and then they get to treat you like a person.
But it's really important though, and I just want to stress something because, you know, I don't want to say this, I hate to say like the standard IP attorney or something like that, but there are a lot of places you could go. They may have a ton of staff and all, you know, this kind of stuff, and many do a great job. But what you don't want to do is be caught in a mill where you get the standard approach and the standard thing for X amount of money and so forth, when if they were to come to you, which is what I do, you have that X factor that powers through the process, that has the relationships and knows the thing to do, the things to do to get through the process and be successful. And it's a learning curve. And I'm just reaching out to fellow entrepreneurs and urging you to not go through that learning curve and come out on the short end of it, to be proactive and work with a law firm like I do with the patent beast. I love saying that. Yeah. I got to get your autograph soon. But at any rate, because that's a recipe for success, to be with someone that's been there and done that, worked with a lot of entrepreneurs and know how to get that through the process. Because in some cases, you as an entrepreneur are on a timeline. You have to decide, my really cool idea, it's so cool and the world needs it. Do I want to get it out to the world to find out over the next year that I didn't protect it properly, and all the benefits of bringing this beautiful idea or product or service to the world now are nullified because I as an entrepreneur didn't take that step to protect it. And that's where, you know, Bob comes in as the patent beast and helps you look at this and decide, what do you need to do now and to do it cost efficiently, so that as you're at the next step going to market, getting funding, you're prepared for that. And I think it's an essential step for all entrepreneurs.
Well, one of the things is to use provisional applications.
We've done many of those.
We talked at the beginning about why. Why are people not proactive? First, what you were talking about is tangential, right? They're focused on this, getting the product out in the marketplace, and it's sort of off to the side. Why are they doing that?
Right.
So, but there's another factor, and that's cost and time.
Yes.
Right. You're spending, I've done this too, writing patent applications and staying up till 3 and 4 in the morning writing it, right? And last thing I want to do is go talk to another attorney or something, right? Especially if it's going to be a long, complicated, expensive process. But the use of provisionals is just amazing. Patent Office came up with this a decade or more ago. And a provisional can be anything from a paragraph in a drawing. You can file that as a provisional application. Mm-hmm. And that gives you a line in the sand. It's not a great line in the sand because your priority to that is based on what you disclosed. So if you disclose very little, your priority is to very little. Mm-hmm. But you can file that, get a line in the sand today or tomorrow or next week. And then a month from now, you come up with other ideas and you file another provisional and then another provisional. You can hook these provisionals together as long as you do it within 1 year and you have the different priority dates. So just this morning I was talking with a guy and that's what he wants to do. He didn't realize that you can do it very inexpensively.
Right.
Like $500, $1,000. You get something on file, you get your line in the sand. And everyone seems to understand that. And he was talking about it. He said that he was talking to someone about his idea, and that stirred in him a new way of doing what he was doing, right? So, and he knows from that experience that as he talks to more people, he's going to come up with more new twists and turns to it.
Yes.
And if you try to do the whole thing all at once, you're not going to do it. It just takes too much effort. You're not going to be proactive. So the key, get something on file. Get your line in the sand. Then I want to talk about something else too, and that people are using AI to write these applications.
Yes.
Right away,
mm-hmm.
right? And that's a good idea to use ChatGPT or whichever other one you want to use.
Sometimes.
That's the problem.
Yes.
There's lots of problems. You can talk about that, but people are doing that, and we're getting patent applications to our office every week, mm-hmm. several now, that someone wrote something on an AI and they give it to us, it is an application. It looks good. It's got the right format, but it's usually not very good.
Right.
And so the question is, now what? Do they just file it the way it is? I think that's a bad idea.
Agreed.
Because again, you're only getting priority to what you disclosed and how you disclosed it. So really what people should do is work with AI to do some searching, work with AI to do some writing, whatever it is, work with it to figure out, and then send it to us, and then we can fix it.
Right.
Right. We can improve it, or we can help guide the strategy.
Right.
Because a lot of times it's very bad at strategy.
Still need humans in the room.
Well,
It's sort of the X factors, what you're talking about.
Well, statistically, roughly, and these statistics they're never right, but as a broad number to contemplate or think through, is about a third of entrepreneurs are self-service. They create some kind of patent or whatever through some of the common LLMs. And think about that. So the common LLMs, they're going to take what they can of known information and try and put something together for you. They do not have your years of experience. They do not have your X factor. And I personally, witnessed this and been part of it, where you've come in and really found a way to have something that may not go through, but through your techniques and your X factor, being able to make that happen. And so what I would reach out to entrepreneurs, doing great jobs, changing the world, doing amazing things, is recognize that we all wear a lot of hats as entrepreneurs, but also you kind of have to stay in your lane. What are you great at? What you're great at is building tech, building companies, building teams. I implore you to leverage an expert in this, along with the latest technology in this approach, to at least get out provisional patents, at least do the basics to cover yourself. Then you go to the next step. That may include funding, seed level, pre-seed, friends and family, wherever you're at. But at least this way, you can now tell the world, you can come out to the world with what you do and go at it and do what you do great. But again, protect it first, because then it may be too late if you don't.
You ever hear about Pinterest fails?
Yes.
So Pinterest, a lot of people go on Pinterest and they post their way of making the cake or their embroidery, whatever it is they're doing. And then you have people all over the country trying to do the same thing. And you can go on YouTube and see, this is what that person posting. It's gorgeous, it's wonderful, it's terrific. And then there's all these Pinterest fails. Everyone tries it and it doesn't work.
Right.
But they followed the recipe.
Right.
But they ended up with something that's no good.
Right.
And that's the danger here. If you file your own thing, it's likely to not be very good.
Yeah.
Again, I've had people this week come in and we work with them and they say, well, I really like what you did. Hopefully they say that. I really like what you came up with. I had this idea and you fluffed it out and it looks like this, right? And I say, yeah, well, I've done it before, right? I've been doing it for more than 35 years. So it can be really difficult for you, but it's not that difficult for me.
Yes.
It's just, I like what you said. You're good at doing the software, so do the software. As I've gotten more experience in law and more older, there's a good phrase, gotten older, I realize that if you try to do something you're not good at, it's a mistake, right? So I can't do art, draw famous, really good portraits of people. I just can't do it. That's not what I do. So I don't do that. And it's much cheaper and much more effective, cost effective, to let someone else who's good at it, let them do that. It frees you to do what you're good at.
Yes. And
it used to be, even 50, 60, 70 years ago, you might have a small town with a hardware store, right? And now Walmart comes in and of course your hardware store goes out of business. Or you could come up with an idea, but in your small town, you didn't have to be very good and you could still be successful. But now in this world, with everything interconnected, you're not competing with the small town, the other people in the town. You're not competing with people in the US. You're competing with people all over the world. Your idea that you come up with is you're competing with the Chinese and the Koreans and the Germans and the French.
Yes, it's a global economy.
It's
now.
global,
Yeah.
and you're coming up with an idea, and other people are coming up with similar ideas. I absolutely guarantee.
Absolutely.
We talked about this
Right.
also before the show, that I think of ideas as out there in the ether,
Mm-hmm.
and the idea wants to live, and it
Yes.
comes over to you. It wants to embody it through you because he thinks you're a good person, you have the knowledge, and then you don't do it. So it says, now who else can I come
Right.
to? Now it's going to come to you, and you're going to do it. Well, if you don't do it, it's going to go to someone else.
Right.
The idea wants to live. It's a flash of genius. And in fact, when people say invention, how did you come up with this? I don't know. I just thought of it. It came to me. Well, that's what's happening.
Yeah.
So if you don't do it, or you do it, but you don't protect it,
Somebody else.
Yes.
you lose out. You lose out. All the patent for the last decade or so, it's been first to invent. I mean, it's first to the patent office. It used to be first to invent, and then you argue about who invented first. But now it's first to the patent office. So if you don't do it, you come up with the idea, you're working on it for a couple months, but Ania over here had the same idea, and she filed her line in the sand
Mm-hmm.
with an inexpensive provisional. Guess who's going to get it? She is. So don't wait. It's just, you can't see my office here, but I have multiple tissue boxes. You can pull out Tissue Dog behind you. People come in and they say, oh, I had this great idea. I spent 2 years working on it and I lost it. And then I give them a tissue because they're upset about it, right? It's really depressing to work on something for years and realize because you didn't file the simple provisional application, you got nothing.
Yeah, and I'd like to stress, and I don't want to name this particular company, but there's a company I really feel from. It's an entrepreneur. He's done a great job. He's rolled out a product. He actually got funded. And what I can say about it is this is very recent, and a company that went to another VC firm that the same guy went to, they got funded with about 6 times the amount of funding to directly rip off this guy's company. And I want to be careful about this because it's a small community, but my heart really went out to him. And again, the message here is you can have a great idea and you're going to go build a company around it, get funding and all these things, but you must protect it, even to the point that I've been at cafes, I won't say which ones, but I've been sitting at cafes because the trend now is really a lot of the idea and the technology that's coming about now, it's coming about at cafes where people are interacting and very loose in conversing about all their ideas.
And stimulating each other to come up with some cool idea.
Well, that is the process right now, but I can tell you without saying what companies and trade secrets, I have literally sat there at these cafes and I have heard companies that you would know right away if I said their names, high-ranking executives telling all their strategy, all their IP, all the stuff they're going to build, and you can just hear it. And so if you're naive enough to think that people aren't taking those ideas and going to town with them, and as you pointed out, Bob, if they are first in line timing to go to patent these or build some IP around it, then that's how it works. So we all have to acknowledge as entrepreneurs that there's such value, such beautiful things being built. All the AI and surrounding technology in the world is changing at a rapid pace. And we're creating more data in the past year, a lot of estimates say, than in the history of the world. So we are at a magnificent time in history right now. Protect your ideas, know your lane, do what you do best, and let professionals with even a new program that I know that you're coming out with specifically for AI and tech professionals to make it very cost effective, rapidly protecting their ideas with an IP strategy so they can then decide at their pace to move forward with all these things, but at least they're protected. And I appreciate you doing that, and the market's going to love that. And I would say to all entrepreneurs, really pay attention to this. It's really worthwhile.
That might be coming out shortly.
Yes.
So another thing, we could talk about this at length some other time, but is trade secrets, right? So the IP is patents, trademarks, copyright, and trade secret.
Yes.
And people often ignore the trade secret. So when they go to file a patent application, they write down everything they can think of, right? Well, that will be published.
Yes.
Why would you do that? The rule is that anything claimed, anything disclosed but not claimed is donated to the public.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. So you file your
Yes.
patent application, years later you actually get a patent with these claims. You disclose this much, but you claim this much, and all the rest is donated to the public. It's like, why did you do that? Do you
Yes.
really want to give all your secrets, a roadmap to all your competitors?
And
that's a bad idea.
it's a huge issue. And think about that 30% I was talking about that are doing this themselves, and thinking by leveraging a common LLM that has the same information for everyone, and thinking you're going to come out on top. Right? That's not a strategy for success.
Yeah, and they'll say, well, but I use Claude instead of ChatGPT, or they'll have access to the same stuff.
And they're all amazing for many things that they can do.
They will give you an application that looks good and it has some value. But I don't care which one you're using. It's not going to be as good as working with, it doesn't have to be me, but working with someone who has done this for decades and knows what to look for. Because you can't.
It could also get you in trouble, though, because you have the feeling like you've protected yourself, and maybe you haven't.
Right.
And it unfolds potentially Pandora's box.
That's true.
That you may not be able to recover from. And I think that's one of the most important things that we're bringing up here. And, I have people that come to me all the time, other entrepreneurs, and some of them have been part of some companies that I built, and they're now building their thing. And they come to me and they ask for advice on this. And this is why I point them towards an expert.
I appreciate that.
Again, to know your lane, do what you do well. Look, if you're going to build a company, you do what you do. But the reason you have an expert in finance and an expert in marketing and so forth, and an expert in IP is because you need these things. So do not overlook the importance of building out your IP portfolio, which involves the name of your company, the name of your products, the trade secrets, actual patents, the trademarks you should have for your product, and be very careful with your IP that you talk about with people and get out in the world. Protect it now.
And it's more than just IP.
Yeah.
Inventors. Well, I'm an inventor too. I have about 100 patents.
Yeah.
I invent stuff. And inventors think that they can do everything. And it's a real mistake. Inventors typically are not good at building a company. They're good at inventing, they're not good at building a company. They're not good at finance. They're not good at
a lot of things.
Getting the product out on the market. Fulfillment. Yeah. What does an inventor know about fulfillment? Or where to source, if it's a physical product, where do you go to China or Japan or whatever it is, or Korea or Mexico to source the raw materials?
Right.
That's not what they do. So let someone else do that who's good at that.
I like using sports analogies because I grew up playing hockey and different sports, and kind of what I did. And in that analogy, think about this. Terrific teams win. Teams win. And why is that? In basketball, you have different positions, and you need a team that are good at all of them. Mm-hmm. Individuals very rarely win. And what entrepreneurs should all have is a team. And a team includes the vital components and people that are specialists in certain things. Mm-hmm. And I guess the message I would say here to fellow entrepreneurs is have that team, recognize your lane and what you're great at, and grab someone else that's great at what they do and get out ahead of the game, because things are moving so quickly now. And I know all the entrepreneurs want to get their product to market and all these things, but if you're proactive, if you protect it, then you can breathe a sigh of relief and enjoy getting it out to the world and knowing that it's protected. If not, every friend and that hears your idea, and every cafe you go to and you're speaking too loudly, and even family members, I hate to say this, but like, there's a halo effect. And I was involved in advertising at an earlier part in my career, and the halo effect is, you hear this thing, you hear it a few times, you don't really remember where it came from or who said it. Yeah. And the halo effect, when it comes to your IP, you do not want that to happen to you. You don't want to get the call 6 months from now from someone going, hey, I have this great idea, and they go on, and you're thinking, well, that was my idea. So, and I know you've mentioned this to me, and it really does happen. So, again, to all the people building great products and teams and companies, really take a hard look at this, and good luck on all your success and all the amazing things you're doing. And if any of us can help, you can drop us a line. And I know Bob's coming out with a new program designed specifically for entrepreneurs, a fast track program so they can jump on this. And we're also going to be doing a newsletter so that we can be in touch with you. And we would love your ideas for further podcasts that we do. And so feel free to give us feedback. We're here to help you.
Yeah, and thank you for coming, being part of the podcast.
Oh, well, thank you. I'm just trying to pay back and pay it forward, because you've done amazing things for companies that I've built and other friends and entrepreneurs I've seen that work with you. And I'm just a fellow entrepreneur trying to help others, and at a time where the advancements in ideas and technologies and amazing things are at such a pace never before seen. So this is really exciting. So just trying to pay back a little bit.
Yeah. Thank you for tuning in to the Patent Beast podcast. We appreciate you spending your time with us. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to follow, like, and subscribe so you never miss an episode. To learn more about Patent Beast AI or Fish IP law, check out the links in the description below. Thanks again for listening, and we'll see you in the next episode.